we are taking a detailed look at the provisions of the Finance Act 2020. Let's try to do a summary of the provisions. Minimum tax under SITA is now 0.25% of gross turnover. Donations to the COVID-19 fund are now tax deductible up to a maximum of 10% of accessible profits. It is now being proposed that micro, small and medium enterprises be exempted from preparing audited accounts. Filing and payment of capital gains tax is now to be carried out twice a year. Email and other electronic means of communication are now allowed with the FRS, while the Tax Appeal Tribunal can now hold virtual sittings. The FRS has now been authorized by the Finance Act 2020 to plug into the systems of taxpayers and ministries, departments and agencies for tax monitoring, while also deploying technology in its efforts to combat tax evasion and aggressive tax avoidance. Capital allowance is now to be granted on software. SMEs dealing in primary agricultural products are now to enjoy 6-year pioneer status. Paid employees on minimum wage, that is, those earning 30,000 naira and below, are now fully exempt from pay as you earn. Gross income for the calculation of consolidated relief allowance has been redefined. Companies with turnover below 25 million naira per annum are now exempt from paying tertiary education tax. With regard to customs and excise duties, duty on tractors is now 5%. Duty on vehicles for mass transit is now 10%, while the duty on vehicles for transportation of goods is now 10%. With regard to levies, the levy on new imported cars is now 5%, while the duty remains 35%. Airlines registered in Nigeria and providing commercial air transport services are entitled to duty-free importation of their aircrafts, engines, spare parts, and components, whether purchased or leased. Value-added tax has been removed from a range of business activities: air ticket, rent, sale and lease of buildings, animal feeds, and agricultural equipment. Unclaimed share dividends and balances in dormant bank accounts are to be transferred to a trust fund to be administered by the Debt Management Office. Entities in the free trade zone are now required to file tax returns. Foreign companies are now required to register for VAT. Under the Finance Act 2020, there is a plan to introduce excise duty on telecommunication services.